Hello, everybody. I'm Peter Grant with Zaner Metals in Denver, and this is This Week in Metals. Peter Thomas is with me as usual. How are you this fine Monday morning, sir?
All good, all good. Another pretty day and another wild market and new highs and market is bid like crazy today.
Yeah, let's recap last week just real quick.
Sure.
So it was a good week for all the precious metals, and
Yeah.
as you mentioned, we're higher again this morning. Gold closed up 1.4% last week, set a new almost 9-year high. 1817.88 was the high mark last week, and we've got a pretty
2011 was the last time we were here, so you hit it on
yep.
the head.
Yep, and
Yep.
got a decent bid this morning as well.
Yep.
Um, ETFs saw, the 11th consecutive day of inflows on Friday, so we're still getting a
A
lot
lot
of
of flow.
interest from investors. And
I'm hearing, just so you know, I'm hearing more and more. We're getting people calling Zaner Metals because we are a brokerage house, and a lot of brokers are calling up going, oh, our customers want to reinvest some of their money in metals. How do we do it?
right,
So we're seeing a lot of new money come in. Is my
yeah,
point.
yeah, which is
Yeah,
great. And
yeah,
it's always important to note, particularly in physical precious metals, that such a small percentage of the investment population actually have physical metals in their portfolios. They may have investments in ETFs and commodity funds and that type of thing, so they might have exposure to the precious metals, but there's just no substitute for the real thing.
oh yeah. Owning the real thing and owning it in 401ks and in Iris too. I mean,
Yeah.
we're seeing interest in all of them again, which is really good to see because essentially after Nixon killed the gold market, people haven't learned how to use gold, so they're coming back.
That's right, and we are here to accommodate them.
You betcha.
Silver had a good week as well, up
Yeah.
3.8%. Set another almost a 1-year high this morning at 1917. So trading comfortably above the $19 level for the first time in about a year.
Right.
Um, the ratios trading with a 93 handle, which we haven't seen since March, since the
Which we
market went
discussed last
crazy.
week, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it looks like we definitely silver's still kind of in catch-up mode. To
Well, I think here's something else, Pete, that came out Friday was 60% increase year on year on bullion coin and bullion, the small 1 ounce bar was released by the US Mint. So we're seeing big demand for physical coming back in year on
yeah,
year.
and what's great, I think, and the setup for sort of this next phase of the bull market, both in gold and silver, just based on flows through our hedging platform, the
Right.
wholesalers are stocking up, and
Yes, they are.
they seem to be in a good position to accommodate retail demand. Uh, uh, as you say, it's happening right now. But
It is. Yeah.
you think back to March and April when the COVID crisis started, and then suddenly everybody was scrambling for metal and nobody could get it. And a lot
Yeah.
of that was logistical, and a lot of it was just the market completely caught off guard by the situation and not having sufficient inventory. But it seems like the wholesalers are
Well,
well positioned at this point.
the
So
cycle was odd too, because if you think about it, generally speaking, our guys, our retail salespeople, slow down their stockpiling for inventories. We say putting it in the box, and they really got caught off guard when all of a sudden the U.S. Mint shut down, the
right,
Canadian Mint shut down, and also Australia shut down. So
right,
we
and
had nobody producing product, and oh, by the way, the miners didn't show up for work either.
right.
So the stockpiling on both sides, the raw and the refined, ended.
Right, and as I'm sure everybody recalls, the major refineries in Switzerland shut down.
Yes,
There were logistical issues, and because most of
that's
the
true.
the,
That's a
the
very
metal
valid
moving
point.
around the world typically flies on commercial airlines,
Right.
and suddenly that wasn't available. So you couldn't get, if there was metal, you couldn't get it to where it was needed. Uh, but again,
Well, I
the
did
the
that
mess.
story in depth in Bloomberg, which was attached to one of our weeklies, and there was no question that that was another real big point that a lot of people didn't think of, was the fact that it wasn't getting loaded on planes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the important message here is that the market seems to be far better prepared for, as I said, this sort of next phase, which I think is ultimately going to lead to new all-time highs in gold. We've talked about $20 in silver.
Yes.
The important resistance level, sort of now that we're trading above 1900 pretty comfortably, 21. What? Let's see. 2114
Ah.
is kind of
Okay.
like the key resistance level from July of 2016.
Okay.
And so that's an attractive technical objective as well. Certainly, if we do trade with a 20 handle again in the not too distant future, and as I said, all the trend indicators are looking pretty positive at this point. And again, I'm always encouraged when the ratio is under pressure and silver is leading.
Well, and in the Wall Street Journal, I said to both of them last year, I said we'll see 2,000 this year in gold, and man, it's came quicker than I thought, and it really it's on fire. I mean, we can
Everybody's
see.
on the 2000 bandwagon now, my
Yeah,
friend.
they are, aren't they? Yeah, they're all got the pom poms out.
Yeah, you know, a little bit concerned about the build in net spec fund long, yeah, in the futures market with regards to that.
Okay,
So there could be some two-sided trade. I don't necessarily know that it's going to be a straight shot to 2000 in gold. There could be
markets never
some,
go straight up. There's
yeah,
always setbacks. They always shake out week longs. They feed on stops. That's the nature of the beast. The dragon has to eat and eat regularly, and it always takes time to climb. But
yeah.
it's never a straight shot, and when it is a straight shot, it's always a violent straight shot. So that could be an event in 15,000 cases of COVID-19 on Friday was certainly an event.
Yeah, so yeah, I heard a new
Yeah, Florida got
global record
hammered,
high,
man.
yeah, Florida
Yeah,
record
right.
COVID cases and so forth. So that's still probably the driving force in the
Sure.
market. Not just the COVID
No.
cases, but the government and central bank response to the COVID cases. You throw that much liquidity into the market, the stock market continues to love it, and
Yep.
I'm encouraged that the metals are rallying in tandem with stocks. And again, I think it's a function of the liquidity. Um, you
Well,
know,
anti-dollar's getting just hammered.
yeah,
A whole lot of people in Europe are saying we've seen this game. You can only pump so much liquidity in, and all of a sudden you got a problem. So we're seeing the euro starting to get pumped up with its a lot of new people coming in, fresh blood. There's some changes going on in multiple governments offshore. So
yeah,
it's a race, and then the dollar was on the moon for a long time, and to see it set back a little bit is just a normal function of the market.
right. And typically will provide a tailwind for
Yeah,
the
exactly
precious
right.
metals as well.
Exactly.
Uh, the platinum group metals remained range bound last week, and still in the ranges this week. Although again, a little bit of a bid here this morning.
Right.
Um, the copper, holy cow,
Yeah.
last week up a little bit over 7%,
Yeah.
and on the bid again today. So we're flirting with the 230 level
Yes, we are.
in copper. We've traded as high as 299.11 the last time I looked here this morning, and um, 299.40 is an important resistance level from April of
It's
last year.
it's been digging off of for most of the morning, and we know our scrappers. We talk to all of them all the time, and they're moving product as fast as they're loading it on the truck. So demand is there. The floods in China, we have seen slow down the reception and even losing large shipments at sea and inland because China uses their rivers as an inland waterway. So a lot of product is not getting in and getting lost, and demand is still high. So it's been very interesting.
Right, right.
Yep.
So that market looks so good at this point. And again, I think there's the potential for two-way trade, particularly when you see gains of this magnitude in such a short time frame. But the dips are likely to be viewed as buying
Buying
opportunities
opportunity.
still. Yeah,
Q2 in China saw numbers came out, and the numbers were 4% increase over last year. That's a big number.
right.
And when you consider they consume 61 to 63% of all the copper used, a 4% increase is a big number.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
nothing really on the economic calendar for today. We got
Okay.
CPI out tomorrow, and so as we talked earlier about the liquidity
Right.
pump going on. So again, we continue to look for signs of inflation. The market's looking for plus 0.5, which is a pretty good pop in CPI, but still well below the Fed's target on the year-on-year number. So it'll be, I don't know, 1.3 plus 1.3 year-on-year.
The
So
Fed talked himself out. Powell talked himself out on Wednesday. So is he scheduled to do anything this week?
there's a lot of Fed speak this week, but I don't think Powell's on the agenda.
Okay.
I,
All right.
I could be wrong on that, but the we'll also see import price index and export price index, which are looking for pretty healthy pops there as well,
Right.
plus 1.1% and plus 0.8% respectively.
Tariffs are gonna will have a big influence on that, and the president is talking about increasing the amount of number of different products. So that's going to be interesting to see that number.
Yeah, and then also on Wednesday, industrial production
IP is
for
always
June,
important.
always
Yeah.
important. Look, market expectations are plus 4%
Oh, that's
on
a nice
that one.
number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other two biggies are Bank of Canada announces policy this week, and so does the ECB. And I think that all of the liquidity policies are in place and continue to operate. I don't anticipate any changes in
I think
interest
that's
rates.
I concur with you on that. I
Yeah,
don't see Canada doing anything radical, and the ECB is not in a position to do anything radical. So I mean they'll just keep going along, and actually for the first time in a while they're getting a little break. So we'll see how that goes.
right.
Yeah.
So that's the gist of this week, and
Perfect.
the trend looks good, and the trend is your friend, as we like to say.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that exciting times for all of our scrappers. They're seeing good numbers across the board. Platinum, palladium has had good demand. Copper's had tremendous demand. Silver recovery's been good. So let's keep it up this week and hope that our guys continue to make good money. All of our retail wholesalers in coin and bullion. Look like they're going to have another good week, and we've seen good sales on the ZanerPreciousMetals.com, and anybody that's looking to do some hedging with us, please give us a call. We'll be happy to mitigate your risk as this rally gets up to a potential high.
Perfect. I'm Peter Grant with Zaner Metals in Denver. Have a great trading week.
Pete Thomas in Chicago. Please feel free to give us a call, give us a like, give us a touch on LinkedIn, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week.